It is October, 1944, the Herdgun Forest, on the bleeding edge of the Belgian-German border. This is not a battlefield. It is a meat grinder. The air does not smell of pine needles. It smells of wet ash, cordite, and rotting leaves. Deep in this green hell, we find Hans Weber. He is 19 years old, a carpenter's son from a small village outside Munich. His face is smeared with grease and dirt, his eyes hollowed out by 3 days of sleepless shelling. He is shivering, not just from the biting autumn damp, but from a certainty that sits heavy in his gut. He is going to die. Today, Hans has been told by his officers that the Americans are gangsters, that they are ruthless cowboys who shoot prisoners to save on rations. When the perimeter breaks and the American paratroopers swarm the trench, Hans throws down his Kar 98 rifle. He raises his hands. He closes his eyes. He waits for the click of the bolt. He waits for the bullet. But the bullet does not come. Instead, a rough hand spins him around. He is shoved into a line of gray coats. He is a prisoner of war. The enemy. They are marched to the rear. The mud is knee-deep. A glue that traps men and machines alike. And here, amidst the chaos of the American rear echelon, Hans sees it. Ah? Traktor. It is an olive-drab monster, a converted piece of farm equipment, likely a Caterpillar D7 or an International Harvester. Fitted with a dozer blade, it is chugging slowly through the sludge. It is loud. It is ungainly. It looks nothing like the sleek, terrifying silhouette of a German Tiger tank or the precision engineering of a Panther. Hans looks at the man next to him. They exchange a look. A smirk cuts through their fear. "Look at that," Hans whispers, in German. "It moves like a snail. A target for a blind man." They laugh. A dry, jagged sound. Even in defeat, the arrogance of the Third Reich's indoctrination flickers. They believe in the superiority of German steel. They see this slow, lumbering American tractor as a joke, a toy from a country of farmers, trying to fight a war of warriors. The driver is Corporal Ben Tex Walker, 22. From a dust-choked farm in Lubbock, Texas. He wipes his hands on a rag. He sees the Germans laughing. He sees Hans pointing at the tracks of his machine. Tex doesn't reach for his rifle. He doesn't yell. He just walks over to the trailer the tractor is pulling. The Germans stiffen. "Is this it? Is he getting the weapon?" Tex pulls a lever. The back of the trailer drops. It hits Hans before he sees it. The smell. It is not the metallic temps of blood. It is not the sulfur of explosives. It is the smell of coffee. Real, dark, roast coffee. And beneath it, the thick, savory aroma of beef stew and bread. White, soft bread. The tractor wasn't hauling ammunition to kill them. It was hauling dinner. Hans stares. His stomach cramps violently, a reminder that he hasn't eaten in 48 hours. He watches the slow tractor. He realizes now what he is looking at. It is not a weapon of war. It is a machine of abundance. While German tanks sit abandoned on the roadside, out of fuel, out of parts, this American farm machine just keeps coming. It brings tents. It brings medicine. It brings enough food to feed a battalion, pulled through mud that would swallow a horse. Tex walks up to the fence. He holds out a tin cup of stew and a chunk of bread to Hans. Hans hesitates. He looks at the American's face. He expects a trick. "Go on," Tex says. His voice is flat, tired. "It ain't poison." Kid Hans takes the cup. The heat radiates through his frozen gloves. He looks at the tractor, then back at the American. "Why?" Hans asks. "We are, ... the enemy." "Yeah, you are," Tex replies. Tex gestures to the tractor, chugging relentlessly in the background. "But my tractor don't know that it hoost plows. It just feeds. That's what we do." Hans takes a bite. He chews slowly. His eyes water. He lowers his head. The taste is overwhelming. Salt, fat, warmth. It rushes through his veins like a shockwave. Hans Weber starts to weep. He is not crying because he lost the war. He's not crying because he is a prisoner. He's crying because his entire worldview has just been crushed by a bowl of stew. He was taught that strength was speed, armor, and domination. But he is alive right now because of a slow, ugly tractor and a farmer from Texas who decided to build a supply line instead of a firing squad. He is crying not from sadness, but from the unbearable weight of unexpected kindness. That tractor was a prophecy. In the months that followed, as the Third Reich collapsed into dust, it wasn't the tanks that defined the victory. It was the logistics, the endless river of American wheat, corn, and supplies. The same machines the Germans laughed at in the mud of the Hirschgarten forest would soon be driving through the streets of a starving Berlin, bringing life to the very people who had tried to destroy them. 50 years later, 1994. Hans Weber is 70 years old. He stands on the edge of a field in Bavaria. He's a grandfather now, a retired architect who helped rebuild Munich from the ashes. He holds a faded photograph in his hand. It is not a picture of his family. It is a grainy snapshot of a U.S. Army field kitchen. He watches a modern John Deere tractor harvesting the wheat in the distance. The machine is massive, powerful, efficient. He thinks of the boy he was in the mud. He thinks of Tex, the man whose name he never learned, but whose face he sees every time he breaks bread. The laughter of 1944 is gone, replaced by a silence filled with gratitude. History is often written in the ink of treaties and the blood of battles, but sometimes the true turning point isn't a gunshot. It's the moment a soldier realizes that the hand holding the gun is less powerful than the hand that offers the bread. True power doesn't just conquer the world, it feeds. Italiano.